Hello, guys. And today we'll be continuing Atomic Habits by James Clear. No doubt away. Let's get into it. What just happened? Hold on. There we go. You want to protect where you end up in life. All you had to do is follow the curve of tiny gains or tiny losses, and see how your daily choices will compound 10 or 20 years down the line. Are you spending less than you earn each month? Are you making it into the gym each week? Are you reading books and learning something new each day? Tiny battles like these are the ones that will define your future self. Time defines the margin between success and failure. It'll multiply whenever you feed it. Good habits make your time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. Habits are a double-edged sword. Bad habits can cut you down just as easily as good habits can build you up. Which is why understanding the details is crucial. You need to know how habits work and to design them to your liking, so you can avoid the dangerous half of the blade. Your habits can compound for you or against you. Positive compounding. Productivity compounds. Accomplishing one extra task is a small feat of any given day, but it counts for a lot over an entire career. The effect of automating an old task or mastering a new skill can be even greater. The more tasks you can handle without thinking, the more your brain is free to focus on other areas. Knowledge compounds. Oops, I clipped it. Knowledge compounds. Learning one new idea won't make you a genius, but commit to lifelong learning can be transformative. Furthermore, each book you read not only teaches you something new, but also opens up different ways of thinking about old ideas. As Warren Buffett says, that's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. Relationships compound. People reflect your behavior back to you. The more you help others, the more others want to help you. Being a little bit nicer in each interaction can result in a network of broad and strong connections over time. Negative compounding, aka the ones you should not do. Stress compounds. The frustration of a traffic jam, the weight of parenting responsibilities, the worry of making ends meet, the strain of slightly high blood pressure. By themselves, these common causes of stress are manageable. But when they persist for years, small stresses compound to serious health issues. Negative thoughts compound. The more you think yourself as worthless, stupid, or ugly, the more you condition yourself to perceive life that way. You get trapped in a thought loop. The same is true for how you think about others. Once you fall into the habit of seeing people as angry, unjust, or selfish, you see those kind of people everywhere. Outrage compounds. Riots, protests, and mass movements are rarely the result of a single event. Instead, a long series of microaggressions and daily aggressions slowly multiply until one event tips the scales and outrage spreads like wildfire. What progress is really like? Imagine they have an ice cube sitting on the table in front of you. The room is cold and you can see your breath. It's currently 25 degrees. Actually, that's lower than freezing. Ever so slowly, the room begins to heat up. 26 degrees, 27, 28. The ice cube is still sitting on the table in front of you. 29 degrees, 30, 41. Still, nothing has happened. Then 42 degrees, the ice begins to melt. A 1 degree shift is when we no different from the temperature increases before it. It unlocked a huge change. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. This pattern shows up everywhere. Cancer spends 80% of its life undetectable. Then it takes over the body in months. Bamboo is barely seen for the first 5 years, as it builds extensive root systems underground before exploding 90 feet in the air within 6 weeks. Similarly, habits can appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. In the early and middle stages of any quest, there is often a valley of disappointment. You expect to make progress in a linear fashion, and it's frustrating how ineffective changes can seem during the first days, weeks, and even months. Don't feel like you're going anywhere. It's a hallmark of any compounding process. The most powerful outcomes are delayed. This is one of the core reasons why it's so hard to build habits that last. People make a few small changes, fail to see a tangible result, and decide to stop. You think, I've been running every day for a month, so why can't I see any change in my body? Once this kind of thinking takes over, it's easy to let good habits fall by the wayside. But in order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through this plateau. What I call the plateau of latent potential. Once you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or break a bad one, it's not because you have lost your ability to improve. It is often because you've not crossed the plateau of latent potential. Complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about ice cream not melting when you heat it from 25 to 31 degrees. The work has not wasted, just being stored. When action happens at 32 degrees, you finally break through the plateau of latent potential. People call it an overnight success. The outside world only sees the most dramatic event rather than all that preceded it. But you know that it's the work that you did long ago. But then it's seen that you weren't making any progress. That makes the jump today possible. It's the human equivalent of geological pressure. Two tectonic plates and ground against one another for millions of miles. The tension slowly building up to while, then one day they rub each other once again, in the same fashion they have for ages. But this time the tension is too great. An earthquake erupts. Change can take years before it happens all at once. Mastery requires patience. The San Antonio Spurs, one of the most successful teams in NBA history, has a quote from a social reformer. Here's a bridge hanging in their locker room. When nothing seemed to help, I go and look at the stonecutter hammering away at its rock. Perhaps 100 times without as much of the crack showing in it. Yet the 101st blow it, it will spin too. I know it was not that last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. The plateau of latent potential. Figure 2. We often expect to progress to be linear. At the very least, we hope it will come quickly. In reality, our results of our efforts are often delayed. It's not until months or years later that we realize the true value of the previous work we have done. It can result in the value of disappointment. People feel discouraged and putting in weeks or months of hard work without experiencing any results. However, this work was not wasted, it was simply being stored. It is not until much later that the full value of previous efforts is revealed. Yeah. All big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. Roots enrich themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us. And the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. But what determines whether we stick with a habit long enough to survive the plateau of life's potential and break through to the other side? What is it that causes some people to slide into unwanted habits and enables others to enjoy the compounding effects of good ones? Forget about goals. Focus on systems instead. Prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life is getting into better shape, building a successful business, relaxing more, and worrying less, having more time with friends and family, is to set specific, actionable goals. For many years, this is how I approached my habits too. Each one was a goal to be reached. I set goals for the grades I wanted to get in school, or the weights I wanted to lift at the gym, or the profits I wanted to earn in business. I succeeded at a few, but I failed at a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with the goals I set, and nearly everything to do with the systems I followed. What's the difference between systems and goals? The distinction I first learned about from Scott Adams, the cartoonist behind Dilbert comic. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. If you're a coach, your goal might be to win a championship. Your system is the way you recruit players, manage your assistant coaches, and conduct practice. If you're an amateur, your goal might be to build $1 million business. Your system is how you test product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. If you're a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece. Your system is how often you practice, how you break down and tackle different measures, and your method of receiving feedback from your instructor. Now for an interesting question. If you completely ignore your goals and focus only on your system, would you still succeed? For example, if you're a basketball coach and you ignore your goal to win a championship and focus only on what your team does at practice each day, will you still get results? I think you would. The goal in any sport is to finish with the best score. But it would be ridiculous to spend a whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the words of three-time Super Bowl winner Bill Walsh, the score takes care of itself. The same is true about other areas of your life. You want better results? Then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. do I mean by this? Goals. Are goals completely useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting the direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time designing your systems. And after today's video, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys again very, very soon. Later.